tall kneeling, as I like to say, and I do my alternating waves there, it is already 10 times harder. Now I realize how much my ankles and how much my knees were helping those alternating waves or those vertical waves, right? Or those lateral waves. What's going on, guys? Master Coach Aaron Guyett, also Education Director here at LivingFit, and we're talking about battle ropes today. Now, I know these are already intensities, right? So the battle rope, just doing alternating waves, if you've never done it before, probably pretty exhausting. But for those of you that have been doing ropes for a month, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe the last couple of years, and you want a couple of ways to intensify, these are simple, but most people don't think about it because most people are just in that wrong, right? Way too much tension, way too much grip, butt sticking way out, and just creating a whole lot of probably upper back pain and shoulder pain, right? So we all know we already take a one step forward, shoulders down and back, stand up nice and tall, and create our alternating waves. We got lateral waves, we got outside circles, we got all sorts of different ways to move the rope. But if you want to create a little bit more intensity, specifically and especially intensity for hips on up, the upper body, then you take your feet and you remove them and you drop down to knees. So if I go two knee kneeling, right, or tall kneeling, as I like to say, and I do my alternating waves there, it is already 10 times harder. Now I realize how much my ankles and how much my knees were helping those alternating waves or those vertical waves, right, or those lateral waves. My lower body is doing way more than I think, and I only know that if I drop down to my knees. So just like the tall kneeling here with both knees on the ground, we can go half kneeling. So maybe I want to work one of my glutes, right? And then the other glute, I'm going to kind of turn off a little bit. And then I want to work my obliques a little bit more. So create a little bit of an asymmetrical foundation so that my obliques have to now supercharge in order to give me this strong foundation from which to send my alternating waves down, or my lateral waves down, or my rainbows, or maybe smiles, right? Whatever it might be. And then obviously the third way would be, I would want to make sure I hit the other side. Otherwise you'll just be walking in circles for the rest of your life. That's probably not true, but we do want to create symmetry, not asymmetry. Because asymmetry, it's not if you get injured, it's when you get injured. So if I'm doing the left side, I want to show that right side too. So again, I've got smiles, right? Alternating waves, outside circles, all of that I can do from this half kneeling position now on the other side. And again, now I'm gonna equally but oppositely engage those obliques, engage that vertical core, right, in the same way that I was engaging it on the other side. Then you wanna make it a little bit harder. We drop down to the hips. Now I realize how much my hips were helping me when I'm doing my alternating waves. And this is a million times harder, right? So, and probably not a million, but if it's doubly as hard in the tall kneeling, and then half kneeling, maybe it's 1.5 times as hard. Sitting is like 4 times harder. It literally, the hips are providing so much more movement, so much more power and output than you think they are. And you wouldn't know that until you sit on your butt and then you try to produce an alternating wave that goes all the way down to the end of that rope, or maybe an in and out wave, right? Or we got rainbows, right, that we're doing from that seated position. It's just way harder, creating far more engagement for my upper body, way harder for the shoulders, way harder for the biceps and triceps, pec, upper back, right, you name it. Then, if you hate yourself, like I do sometimes, or you love yourself, whichever way you want to look at it, right? It could, glass is half full or glass is half empty. But you can get into this lying position and then trying to create some sort of power from that lying position. You really realize how much even just your abs and your obliques and your torso are helping create those alternating waves or those lateral waves or whatever have you. Now this, I only do if it's client specific. So either they need to massively engage their back, they need to massively engage their shoulders for whatever sport they're in. Maybe they're a surfer or something like that, and they're just starting their surfing and they're not very good at paddling out. They're getting smashed on when they go to a competition or whatever, right? This is a great move for them. Or maybe they're a grappler or something like that, and they need to have different positional strengths in order to be able to overtake their opponent in their matches, right? So then I'll put them in different positions and have them do the moves with the ropes in those positions. Or, you know, maybe they're just trying to get a pull-up and we really want them to learn retracting that scapula, pulling the scapula down, but then also being able to create some sort of power output. So this is the most intense way to get after those battle ropes.